Hello, everyone. This tutorial is going to address making a PDF that students can write or type in over the document you're trying to have them answer on so that they can not move the lines or the text. I know we were having some troubles with that. So the first thing we need to do, I want to introduce you to a great little tool. If you don't already know it, the snipping tool. First, you need to know what you're going to cut. You can upload one of your own documents, whether it's scanned in, something you've created that is a PDF, but you want to make it something the students can write on the top of. You can also just steal sort of things off the internet. I found a great little plot diagram, have my own from when I taught English, but just as easy to, if you find something you need to use, grab the snipping tool. I'm going to choose a new snip. So I'm going to just grab a picture of this plot line that has some fill-ins. It puts it into the snipping tool format. Here you have some tools where you can annotate yourself, highlight. You can get into some other high-tech stuff, but let's keep this one simple. Do File, Save As, and find some place you can save your materials that you maybe don't need to keep. I usually keep on my desktop a number of files where samples or stuff that has to move around a lot and I can just delete and throw away later. I have some things here from elementary, but there's also a plotline fill-in. So we're going to use this, and I have it marked even delete or after. So you would save that. I already have mine saved the way I want. So I can close that window. The next thing you need to do, get rid of that one as well because it's saved. If you come to your Google Drive, we're going to create a new slides, a new Google slide. You can do this in Google Docs, but not the way that I'm going to show you. Google Docs doesn't allow layering where Slides does. So if we do a new slide, when it opens, you can title the slide. That's the first thing you need to do. I'm going to call this short story plot fill-in. And it could be anything. It could be a mathematical table, a science chart, something you would need as a history timeline. So once you get your document titled, your slide is titled, can get rid of, for right now, I'm going to close out the themes. And I don't want what's here in the preset tables, text boxes, so I'm going to get rid of those. Now, it has a nice landscape orientation, but I didn't check the ratio on this. And I know that if I have kids in my class that don't have technology and I want to give them a document, I might very well want to print this. So if you go into File, Page Setup, you can change, you can move from the widescreen to a custom setup, and you can make it 8.5 by 11 for portrait. I know I need landscape, so I'm going to do 11 by 8.5, standard copy paper. And if I apply that, it adjusts the screen just a little bit. So when I put this background on here for the students to write over and then need to print it later, it should print in a better format. If I go to the background now, you can do it here, or if you right-click on the slide, you can change the background here. You can change the color. We don't need to do that for this particular document. I'm going to just choose the image that we snipped. I'm going to browse out to that folder, and you would go to this PC on your desktop or wherever you saved your folder. I had mine where I showed you on the desktop in the samples training file. Right now it's called LED. I'm going to pick up the delete plotline because I don't need to keep that, but that is the one I want to use for today. And you can see it filled in the background. And as long as it lines up the way I need it to, I can click done. Okay, so the background part is set. There is another step to this. We need to add some text boxes. We can just give this to the students and have the students create the text boxes. But when I'm working with younger students, elementary, even my 9th graders, sometimes if you're giving them places where you want them to type and they're moving around the document same way as you are, a little instruction doesn't hurt. So I tell them where to type. For the sake of using this both online and in person, if you wanted to hand them the sheet of paper, you could just use the word right here. Okay, what you can do, you can copy these and paste and move them throughout the document. And then you just need to change the size. So that if you had more information or greater amount of instructions, you can move that just on a cut and paste. You can also write answer here. So filling that out, and the more instruction you give them, the better. If you were giving instructions where you wanted an answer, say 1, and you wanted a second response, you can just label 1 and 2, and they'll then know, that they're expecting more than just a 1-word answer. You might want to put in the instructions that they can change the font size, and maybe encourage them to use some standard Arial fonts so that the spacing and they can fit more in the block, because sometimes they like to color and create, use fancy fonts, and they're not always as easy to read. But here you have your document. So the back lines the students can't move. The type here, they would have access to finagle writing over the top of it, and you would be all set. Let's do make sure that this is saved. I sometimes make copies of the selected slides just so I know I have, if I need to adjust it, maybe I need one for each class. It could be, you can do it by period number if you need to keep that slide. So there you go. And then once you have that saved, you can go out to your classroom and just insert it like you would any other PDF, except now you have the capability for the student to write over the top.